Are you satisfied with the plea agreements in these cases?
Yes, sir.
You're pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, sir.
Carlee Smollett Jr. went to court this week and was able to avoid jail time. If you remember, the 26-year-old from Alabama got off from work one night, stole items from her job like toilet paper and a robe, in addition to cash from the register. Went to pick up food for herself and her mom.
Because I know you love your food.
Then she went to Target, picked up granola bars and cheeses, got on the dark interstate and made this call here while pulling over on the side of the road in her Mercedes-Benz.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459 and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
She said she saw a white baby in the middle of the night on the side of the road in a diaper. She called her sister-in-law and talked to her on the phone. Next thing you know, Carlee screamed and dropped her phone. Police got down there. They didn't see Carlee or the white baby in the diaper, just the car, the food she picked up for herself and her mother, her wig, and her cell phone.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. I do want to get to a developing story that we're following coming in out of Alabama. Take a look right there. Police in Alabama searching for a 25-year-old woman who vanished after telling a family member that she was stopping to check on a child she saw walking on the side of an interstate highway. Hoover police say Carlee Nicole Russell called 911 Thursday night and then a family member to say that she saw a young child walking on the side of I-459.
Everybody started looking for Carlee as news quickly circulated on social media that a black woman vanished from the side of the road after she pulled over to help a baby that was alone walking. The whole situation caused a big online battle between all the black women and the black simps who believe this ridiculous story versus the people who use common sense and question the validity of the whole situation. Even when she came back home, her mother and father went on national TV and continued to go along with this abduction lie.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tamika Mallory came out swinging and going off. My son also came out with that mouth talking crazy. And how can we ever forget Dr. Umar?
Sister Carlee Russell, I got something I need to say to you, my beautiful Alabama princess. I understand that you was going through some relationship issues. And I know sometimes when the sisters go through some relationship issues, y'all can get a little out of pocket with the strategies y'all employ to get your significant other's attention. I understand that.
By the time it was confirmed that Carlee was telling a lie, Dr. Umar with his creepy touchy-feely self was talking about all Carlee needed was for him to come to Alabama and give her a big old hug.
When I see you in Alabama, I'm gonna give you a big hug and just say, baby, don't do that no more.
She didn't need to go to jail because black women didn't belong in jail.
I do not want my sister going to jail. So for all y'all saying she need to be prosecuted and persecuted, I disagree with you. Don't no black woman belong in there.
And everybody who says she should be punished for this, well, according to Dr. Umar, we were all wrong. You know, we all had to ignore that Carlee made up this big lie to get her ex-boyfriend's attention. A lot of people even had more smoke for the ex-boyfriend than Carlee herself. When she made it back home, she partied with family in Alabama, celebrated her 26th birthday, and also went club hopping in Atlanta. A few months later, Carlee strutted into municipal court, where she was ordered to pay $15,000 and the judge recommended jail time. Carlee Russell's mama came out huffing and puffing at the media because, of course, it wasn't her daughter's fault. It just had to be the media's fault for covering her lies.
Why did you lie, Carlee Russell? Why did you lie to the public? Why did you blame a white man? Why did you blame a white man? Why did you blame a white? Don't touch my phone, lady. Lady, don't touch my phone. Don't touch my phone. Why did you, Miss Russell? Why did you grab my phone? Why did you grab my phone, Miss Russell? Why did you lie to national television? Why did you lie to national television, Miss Russell? Why? Why did you go on national television and lie? Why did your daughter blame a white man? Why did your daughter blame a white man for a fake kidnapping? Why? Why? Why did she plead not guilty today?
Carlee's attorney said we needed to treat Carlee like a kid. Then Carlee disappeared from the spotlight for a couple of months after her attorneys filed an appeal to move the case to a more favorable court where the lying princess will get her way.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You are Carlee Russell?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. This is CC 23-888 and 889. You were charged in each of these cases with making a false police report, which are misdemeanor offenses. I'm showing you a document titled Explanation of Rights. Did you go over this document with your lawyers?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature on the last page?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this document or about your rights?
No, sir.
All right then, and there is no plea agreement here. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
In CC 23-888, as to the misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And in CC 23-889, as to the misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
That's her first time admitting guilt in court because at her last court appearance, she entered a plea of not guilty.
Do you have, let's see, I'm a little out of order here. I'm showing you Court's Exhibit B. Did you go over this document with your lawyers?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied that your attorneys, Mr. Henry Anthony, Richard Jaffe, and Lucky Milad,
Yes,
are
sir.
good and competent attorneys and have represented you well?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the plea agreements in these cases?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, before we proceed, well, I find that your plea was made knowingly and voluntarily, and based on your plea, I find you guilty. Before sentencing, first, is there anything that the Attorney General's office would like to add?
Yes, Your Honor, if you don't mind. As the court is aware, I have asked to speak today, and I have a lot to say, but the court has asked me to limit it to 2 minutes, and so I will do that. First of all, this case has always been about respect for law enforcement and respect for this community as a whole. Ms. Russell faked a kidnapping, duped the community, and contrived this situation. We still, Judge, don't know to this day where she was, how she got there, what she was doing, and with whom she was doing it with. Once we figured out that she was supposedly missing, the community got involved. Hundreds of people got involved. They took time away from their families, their work, their fun. Law enforcement got involved, from federal, state to local. And they took time away from their family, their people, their work, other cases that needed to be solved. This has been a case that it was taken advantage of, and it's our contention that Ms. Russell knew this would happen. She had researched it on the computer. She had researched search terms about Amber Alerts and the movie Taken, all of those things. And then, Judge, when she came home, we have ring camera footage of her walking casually down her parents' street, and when she gets in front of her parents' house, she runs up there and starts beating on the door. Police were called. The body cams show that she's flailing around and still perpetuating this ruse that she was kidnapped. The ambulance was called. She goes to the hospital and she finally speaks with law enforcement, and that's when she tells the story about the orange-haired man and woman playing with her hair and eating Cheez-Its. This ruse continues. And it doesn't stop until a couple of days later when her lawyer issues a statement. So I have to say, Judge, that because of this ongoing complete disrespect for this community as well as law enforcement, it is our contention that she should get some jail time. I understand that it's a misdemeanor. I do. But because of the effect that it has had on law enforcement as well as on the community, we feel even if it's weekends in jail or nights in jail, that some sort of incarceration is warranted in this case. I think I kept it under 2 minutes.
And at this point, Carlee never issued a public apology. There was some statement put out by her attorney, but no public apology from Carlee.
All right, thank you, Ms. Morris. All right, is there anything from the defense attorneys?
No, sir. Judge, what we're going to do is going to let Ms. Russell make a statement.
Okay, Ms. Russell, before being sentenced, you do have a right to make a statement. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I want to genuinely apologize for my actions and the resulting negative impact inflicted onto others. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress.
That's the first time I heard apologize come from her mouth, and that's to the judge who had the authority to place her behind bars. And then she mentioned that she was going through emotional issues. This is why women like her are very dangerous. Do you know how many men are behind bars or in the grave from acting on or protecting women with emotional issues that plan and execute dangerous situations?
I am extremely remorseful for the panic, fear, and various range of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation. I want to specifically acknowledge and take accountability for the pain and embarrassment that I inflicted upon my family, my church family, friends, neighbors, community, and all of those who were directly involved in search efforts for me. I also extend my sincerest apologies to the Hoover Police Department and every other law enforcement agency and personnel for the position that I put them in and for the resources used. I absolutely regret my decision and in hindsight wish that I had cried for help in a totally different manner. My prayer is that I will be extended grace and given the opportunity to redeem who I truly am and restore the positively esteemed character that I have worked so hard to attain for the 25 years of my life prior to this incident. I wholeheartedly can say that I've never had any malicious intent to hurt anyone. And I pray that you will feel my sincerity and that as I prepare to pick up the pieces and go on to restore my life, that you will witness the fruition of grace.
And we're not going to say anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Russell.
Do you believe Carlee wrote that statement? Let me know below in the comments.
When you first made this report, you alarmed the community, this community, and you really alarmed the country because the story went nationwide, as you know.
Yes.
And then when it came out that it wasn't true, not only was this community outraged, but the country was outraged. What you did was you wasted a lot of government resources, and you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay every dime of that in restitution in this case. It would be a waste of government resources to have a trial in this case. So you have taken responsibility, and we're not going to do that. It would be a waste of government resources to put you in jail. One of the most expensive things the government does is incarcerate people. And we need to reserve our jails for people who are genuinely a threat to the community. Although we're very upset about what you've done, you're not a threat to the community. I'm not going to treat you any differently than I would treat any other first-time nonviolent misdemeanor offender. Accordingly, it is the judgment and sentence of this court that you're sentenced in each of these cases to 6 months in the county jail. These sentences are consecutive with each other, and these sentences are suspended. You're placed on probation for 12 months, it's supervised probation. It's a condition of your probation that you pay full amount of restitution, which is $17,974.88, paid to the city of Hoover, 100 Municipal Lane, Hoover, Alabama, 35216. Pay that through the clerk's office on the first floor in this building so we have a record of it. I'm also sentencing you to serve, and this is a condition of your probation, 100 hours of community service. I want to see, when we come back, I want to see that you've made progress, if not have completed that community service. I understand that you're currently getting mental health counseling, is that right?
Yes, sir.
It is a condition at this point of your probation that you continue getting mental health counseling, and I'd like to see some proof that you're getting that counseling when we come back. This case is set for a review hearing. We're going to review the amount of restitution that's been paid, community service, and that date is October 16 at 9 a.m. Anything else for the state or the defense?
Nothing from the defense.
No, you're not.
Never heard apologies from the sisterhood and the black simps who defended this woman either. You know, the ones who would constantly bring up, if this had been a white woman, this or that. Tamika Mallory really started that rhetoric. Crazy thing is, there was a white woman in a similar situation. She lied too. Said some Hispanic women took her. That white woman, Sherry Papini. Sherry was sentenced to 18 months in a federal prison, followed by 3 years federal probation. Carlee Smollett here got no jail time at all. She appealed the case to get before another judge who wouldn't give her jail time, and she's off the hook with probation only for a year. I know one thing Carlee did change. It's a very negative impact too. When black people hear about black women going missing on social media, I don't see anybody giving it the same energy they gave Carlee's disappearance initially. And you definitely have Carlee to thank for that. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Special thank you to my sister Key C. I appreciate you, Key, for all of your support, as well as Sir Shy, Nook, Terry H, and Donna K. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.